Hi, Lacey. How you doing? Okay, so you got to use this after all. That's fantastic. It's such an interesting illustration, just based on shape and just the way that you've really developed some depth and dimension here. I think I mentioned last week. I think it's pretty remarkable. I think it's a really neat little illustration. I really enjoy it. I'm really glad that you had a chance to use it on your the cover of your book. Okay, a couple of recommendations. Type looks fantastic here. Handmaid's Tale looks just beautiful. Really nice job. What I would recommend is this is Margaret Atwood. What I would do here is I would change that. I would switch that to white, like the color of the type there. I think it would be a little bit more visible. I think it would create a nice connection between the Handmaid's Tale and the author of the book itself. And I think also with incorporating a white, it kind of draws this area in. So the eye is just kind of going back and forth. There's no real exit strategy in the book cover. And that's a good thing. I think that by creating white over here, it's going to force the eye to bounce back up the composition and move through again, as opposed to coming through here and logically exiting at this point. So I would change the type color to white. I would also recommend that you tighten up the kerning. Right now, Margaret, these letters in Margaret are so far apart. They almost look like they're not related to each other. We can see you've got some pretty good kerning in Atwood, but even that could be close. The letters there could be a lot closer. Look at Handmaids. If you look at Handmaids, and you can see that it's a pretty good spacing between each letter. It's not too wide, like we see really wide here. So I would recommend that you close down the spacing between letters there, change that to white, maybe even increase the size a little bit, something like that. And then you could even add a byline right up above that. So if that's your title right there, right above there, just say a novel by, or just by colon Margaret Atwood. Okay, and that's it. I think that's good. My final recommendation is to remove the letters from um, her body and from the inside of the bonnet. And the reason being is because they don't really make sense being placed there, right? Because we were placing them before on the type specimen sheet so that the viewer could look at the typeface. This is actually a book cover, so including the letter forms for the typeface here, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't have to do with the concept of the story. It's like a scarlet letter would be if we put A's in there. I don't know if that's a good comparison, but the point I'm trying to make is that there's no reason conceptually or otherwise for the typeface to be placed on her cloak and on the inside of her hat, or that bonnet. Do you see what I'm saying? And I think that's a pretty important consideration. So I would recommend not including that. All right. Other than that, I think you're looking really fantastic. So any questions, comments at all, please let me know. I'll be glad to clarify. Good work. Thank you.